Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 86 of the Nomads of Fantasy. My name is Brandon. I am your host, and I'm also here with Dave.
You know, I heard demons don't exist. It's just a myth my nipple coach made up to try and scare us out of sniffing the good gas.
Nipple coach, what the fuck?
And
Little
Eric.
did you know.
We all fail. We all make mistakes. It's what makes us human. I bet you can guess who said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And our new friend, Alain, from I Finally Watched podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. So my quote is, Captain Lasky says, "Banished. What are they doing here?" Master Chief says, "Making a mistake."
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Nice stinger.
That is his longest sentence in the entire game.
Yes, we will get into Master Chief, Dave. Don't you worry. He will be
the
a
character
hot topic, I'm
development.
sure. Yes. These are quotes from Halo Infinite, a game that felt like it was taking forever to come out, and it finally
It also
does.
feels like it came out forever ago, but it was only
Yeah, at
a
the
little
same
over
time.
a year ago. December 8th, 2021.
It's because we had to wait so long for the cooperative
Uh-huh.
Halo.
That's true. Yeah. But we'll get into that. But first, no, we have a new friend on the show. So Alain, if you don't mind, maybe just tell everybody like what your show is about, and then we'll cut into some social.
Sure, yeah. Well, thank you for having me on and talking about Halo Infinite. I love the Halo series. It's followed me all through middle school, high school, and college. So it's like, but yeah, no, my show is I Finally Watched, and it's me and my co-host David, and it's a movie podcast for movie lovers like us. We talk about movies that at least one of us or none of us have seen. And it's those classics like Casablanca and
Great
Oh,
movie.
okay.
The Departed and Goodfellas and
Nice.
anything that we feel like probably we should have seen, as much as we claim that we love movies.
We relate to that. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going back and we're trying to watch them all. So yeah, and we talk about a different movie every episode. It's tons of fun.
Nice.
Great. Well, I love that. It's kind of like a reaction. You know how on YouTube and TikTok people have like those reaction kind of videos? It's kind of like that, but it different. It's long form, audio only, conversation based. But that's good. I was telling you just before recording that I listened to the Jojo Rabbit episode, and I totally related. And yeah, man, the it's so emotional. You go in there with one state of mind. So the back and forth that you guys had on it, it was great. Yeah. Both have relaxing voices, by the way.
Oh, well,
This is
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're here to join us today, actually, not on a movie, a video game, Halo Infinite, very cinematic game, big exclusive that Microsoft has. It's probably the biggest one they have, and then probably what you have, like Forza, and then maybe Sea of Thieves.
And then the list ends there.
Kind of ends there. 'Cause they sit on
Bringing back some
Fable,
stuff.
and
You got Fable coming back, yeah.
Yeah, but when the Crackdown took forever,
Starfield. I have hope for
Maybe.
that. Now that Bethesda,
Elder
But
Scrolls.
see,
by Microsoft.
none of those are as big as Halo, and especially in like the Microsoft Xbox advertising, it's all Halo.
I mean, Master Chief is the mascot for Xbox.
Yeah.
that's it.
True. Which is definitely clear, because who is the Mario? Obviously, is the mascot for Nintendo, but who's the mascot for PlayStation? Is it
It
Kratos?
used to
Is
be.
it
It used to
Nathan
be
Drake?
Crash Bandicoot, but now
No, it
it's
was Drake. It was for
Nathan
for a while.
Drake. Yeah,
I would definitely
feel
say
like there
Nathan
could be
Drake,
A couple different ones. Nathan Drake's
Yeah.
probably the most recognizable.
They got such good single player games though. They got good protagonists in a lot of all those games. So it's tough to pick just one.
Yep. What's interesting though is that honestly, the Master Chief is also in a very, very popular multiplayer game. Where those other games, as good as their stories are, they only make single player games and probably bullshit little like kind of mini deathmatch and team deathmatch, and that's about it. Where Halo has tons of things going on and it has a campaign. So just want to throw that out there. But anyways, I know Eric, we put this out on social. People had comments on
We got a couple little comments. If you want to follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter. Nacho Average Padres podcast. So this will be a fun one. He says, starts reciting the Gregorian chant. Oh, deep breathe in, louder output. Oh, you get the idea.
Dude, I was going to put reverb
on. Randall Maloney says, my pals enjoyed it. I'll play it soon. And then he gives us a movie recommendation for another Indian flick.
Saw that.
Which
I watched the trailer.
We're always interested. It's called Pathan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but it looks pretty badass. So we'll be checking that one out. Kilted One says, I enjoyed it and thought the story was way better than Halo 5. And then Elevate Game says, our GOTY of 2021 was Halo Infinite. It's truly incredible. Sure, it was missing a lot of features at launch, but I'm happy that most have been added post-launch. A early multiplayer launch for Xbox's 20th anniversary to hook players before the campaign released was also a great choice. And that's it.
Wow.
That's it for our socials.
That was a goatee.
It's a good spin.
Yeah. I mean, that multiplayer. We'll talk. Yeah. I mean, we did this mostly because the co-op campaign just came out, but we're going to talk about all the aspects of this game. Multiplayer.
Yeah, we can share our opinion. Let's take a break. Cue the cool drum music, and then we'll get back into breaking down all of Halo Infinite, not just the single player campaign, but the multiplayer too. Back, talk about Halo Infinite. Now, we have a guest for this episode, and Alain, I'd love to just hear off the bat, like, what is your, relationship with Halo as a franchise, and then what you thought of the game? Let's just get some background.
Well, we went from it's complicated to no. It's so funny because when I was growing up, I was big into video games, but I wasn't big into video games. It's like I was a PC player before that was cool. So one of my first consoles was an N64, and then I got one of those big gateway desktops.
Towers.
Yeah.
That I used to play just a bunch of like educational games because I was 6, right? Or whatever. And then I didn't get an Xbox, which was my first like console, until I was like in middle school, probably. But I first heard about Halo. Everyone was playing the trial, like downloading the free trial off of the, I think it was called Ares at the time. And it was just this like, it was the map. It was I think it's Blood Gulch. Oh God, am I remembering this correctly? It was like the Blood Gulch map. And it was only the silent cartographer level for the campaign.
Oh, for the
Halo.
campaign.
Okay. This is the first Halo.
This is the first Halo. And everyone with their shitty little laptops all got together around like break time and like just fucking killed each other. And then that was like, oh, I totally skipped Halo 1. I just played the trial for Halo and then went straight to Halo 2 is when I got my first Xbox.
Okay.
And then I went back to play Halo 1 and then 3 and then ODST and Reach, which I love. Reach for me probably had one of the best stories and multiplayers by far.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a great game. Bungie's best work, with Halo. And it was a good send-off. you could see they were experimenting with Destiny with the way they approached that game with the spaceship and some of the things they were doing, but story was really good in Reach.
The story was really good in Reach, and the way that they made you feel like you can actually like rise rank in multiplayer was also really neat too. And then Halo 4 came out when I was in college, and I was just so disappointed with it. It took a lot of energy for me to get through it, and then I got the what's it called, the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Kind of recently, I guess in like maybe 2-3 years ago, and I played all the way through it. Halo 1, Halo 2, ODST, Reach, all in order. I get to 4.
Oh, wow.
I don't even think I finished 4.
Yeah, 4 is forgettable. It's the Forerunners are your enemy. The story has never been really a big thing. You're right about Reach. Did you play 5? Halo 5?
See, 4 disappointed me so bad, I just totally said, fuck 5. I'm not even picking it up.
Yeah, 5's story was a disaster. So then here we are at Infinite, and it's evolved, but it's also going back to its roots in a lot of ways, but it's, where does this one land story-wise? And just, I guess, how do you feel about it as an entry in this long-running franchise?
So, as the campaign goes, I had no idea that it was open world, and so... I bought it just on a whim. I was like, hey, whatever. It was like the Game Pass for Xbox, and I was like, oh, basically I could get this for free. And I went to revisit it. And this was right off me getting done with the Master Chief Collection. So I was kind of like in that Halo headspace. Yeah. And I opened it up, and like you guys said, the multiplayer wasn't there. So I just, and the controls are a little different, but like I don't know if you guys like play a game long enough, it almost becomes secondhand. Like you could just play it blindfolded.
Yeah, muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. But with this, it was like a tad bit different than I'm used to. So I kind of practiced it out in the campaign. And as soon as that loaded, and you got off the ship, like on the Halo arc, call it something different in the new one.
Zeta Halo.
Zeta Halo, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, once you get on Zeta and you're like, you can go anywhere, and you have the cool grapple gun thing to just like scale mountains.
Grappling hook is a game changer.
Oh my god. Is. I was like, this is what Halo should have. This is like in Pokemon, like the Halo 1, 2, and 3 is like the Charmander, and then Halo Reach is like the Charmeleon. This is like the Charizard. This is like the fully evolved way Halo is supposed to be played, at least in my opinion.
It was like somebody played Halo 1, the Silent Cartographer, I think one of the best levels in the Halo. And it's when you laying on the beach and all those guys are running around. You have to go underground, open up, like whatever, laser bridges and all that stuff, and do shit, come out and all that stuff. But that world, it was such a big, and especially on the first Xbox, it was just like, this is the future of like shooter games, man, and on a console, only here in Xbox. And it was like, this was a great Halo moment, especially driving the Warthog and all that stuff. And then it was like somebody played that and says, what if we did that today? And I feel like that's what Halo Infinite felt like. It was like, I see the ring, I see the area, it's way bigger now. There's tons of areas I can check out, but it all has the same fucking look. It's rocks with plants and then like alien structure, and then we go down, which, to me kind of bummed me out a little bit that it didn't have the variety of other things, but it felt like that level, and that was like their art direction.
I agree with you though. It was a little lackluster in the different types of environments that you could kind of like. One of the best levels, I think it's got to be Halo 3, where it's the last level of Halo 3 where you're driving the Warthog and everything exploding around you. You got the lava everywhere. It's just like,
yeah, it was great. It was fine.
That was great. And it's the first time you're like in that environment and you're just going through it. And it's like, what would be cool in Halo Infinite? A lava environment. That would be cool.
Yeah, there's not really different biomes or anything. here in
Bio,
this
thank
open
you.
world.
A
Yes.
winter
it's like,
level
if you
would be
see
cool.
Star Wars and it just takes place like this next movie just took place on Tatooine, like, well, that's lame because the best part of Star Wars is seeing all the different worlds. Same thing with Halo. I think just variety.
I think
Yeah.
they I like the open world in this game. It made it fun with the grapple hook, especially to traverse the world. But I think they did handicap themselves a little bit by making it open world, because it kind of feels like an Ubisoft open world a bit. You have these outposts that you're taking.
Oh,
like
dude,
that's the
it is
Yeah.
Far Cry. It felt like Far Cry, which is good. I like Far Cry, but it's
I
just,
love Far Cry.
yeah. I love Far Cry
like,
too.
Ubisoft is inspiring the team over in Microsoft. Like, come on,
But,
guys.
Like I don't know.
It felt like a game that was
the
made
only
like 6 years ago.
I didn't
Campaign-wise.
feel. I mean, we kind of rushed through this campaign. We played this co-op. That's kind of the reason we're doing this whole thing. Since the co-op just came out, but I didn't really feel compelled to explore that much in the open world. We were kind of just going from mission to mission. If we stumbled across one of the fobs, we would take it over just because it was a more convenient fast travel point or point to spawn like warthogs or get new weapons or whatever. But I didn't feel compelled to explore like there was secrets hidden around every corner or anything. Like you could find the Spartan cores to get your upgrades or the audio logs, but like
So this is gonna make me seem like a total loser, but I went through every single thing and I got all the Spartan cores and
Damn.
all
Oh,
the
that's good.
yeah, that's
I was
awesome.
Well, I played by myself on the campaign for a while before the co-op came out, and I made it through like 80% of the campaign, and I did a lot of the side shit too, because like you're unlocking new guns, you're
Yeah.
unlocking fast travel points, you're unlocking, you're getting a little bit of world building, since Master Chief is the personality of a cardboard box. Like you need the world to tell the story. You need to hear those audio logs. You need to kind of get some of the history of what's going on the ring and all that kind of stuff. So I did a lot more in the single player. I think we mainlined it pretty hard when we were playing co-op.
We bashed
were a
through
little-
it. It was
we were
like
a little
So-
pressed.
it was only like 6 hours. We beat it in like 6 hours.
We
Like
beat it
6 or
last
7
night.
hours.
Wow.
The three
Yeah.
of us melted through the enemy. We died a few times, but we just overcame it every time. Yes.
See,
we-
that's
it
another
was much
critique.
blew
easier.
through it. And I don't think that was the right experience. And I felt bad today during lunch. I played for an hour and I went around just exploring. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to force myself to just
Yeah.
do the story. So I'm glad I did that, because I feel like that's how the game's supposed to be played. It's just that, come on, Halo, like come on, the team, like what 343 Studios, like how do you not have co-op ready? So it made us wait so long that we just blew through it because we've been waiting so long. It kind of messed with, I think, the way we approached the campaign. But I think
Yeah.
if we would have, we'll go there. Maybe we
Yeah.
won't. Maybe we'll go over here and just kill some bad guys.
Yeah.
And
And it's always easier when you're playing on your own to just kind of tool around the world and do your own thing.
Yeah.
But when you're playing with other people, it's like, do you guys actually want to go over here and do this, or do
Well,
we
let me
just want
ask
to go to
you-
the next mission?
Because I never played co-op. If the three of you decided to completely disperse, does it let you, or does it kind of? No, it doesn't.
At a certain
It-
point.
In the open world, it kind of does, but as soon as you hit like a trigger to progress the story, it teleports you all back to the same point.
Okay. Well, one of the things I had a lot of fun with, because I do like Far Cry, was taking over those outposts and doing things like that. I don't know if you guys remember playing Outskirts in Halo 2. You could like maneuver yourself with a grenade jump on top of all the rooftops and basically just get through the entire level through the rooftops. So I was thinking to myself as I was playing this, I was like, is there any like glitches? Is there any game breaking stuff that I could find? So that was like a big way to occupy my time, was just like, can I make, those big gulches, like those big ravines from one Zeta to another, I guess. I was saying like without a what's it called? Not a scorpion. That's the tank. The little flying,
Banshee?
the wasp, or the banshee.
Oh,
Yeah. So without the banshee or without the wasp, can I make it to one or the other using the little jetpack thing if I time it right? Switching quick, going to my grappling hook, grabbing the stuff. So I played a lot with like trying to see if I could figure out some like secrets, I guess you would say.
You sound like a good
that's
QA
cool.
tester.
Yeah.
I do know, like they there's like a peak. There's like the highest peak on Zeta, and if you grapple all the way up to the top, there's like a little surprise there, like a little Easter egg
That's
if you
cool.
make the effort.
Oh, really? Okay.
See, yeah, that's the kind of shit that I love in like
Yeah.
open world games is being rewarded for exploring the world, you know, and that's just good open world design. And that's, you know, it's exactly how I felt with like something like Breath of the Wild. You know, that the world
Yeah.
just makes you want to explore. And I feel like if I was playing this game single player, I would have wanted to do that more. And again, I think Brandon's right. Like, I don't know if we played it the right way because we had the pressure to finish it before recording, so we just kind of wanted to blow through the main missions. So we didn't really get that open world experience. And some of the bite-sized things that we did do were fun because, like, I mean, it's always fun just riding around on a warthog
The
out in the
gunplay
middle
is
of
still
it's top
best
notch.
class. Yeah.
Yeah, top notch for sure.
It never gets
Yeah.
tiring to kill grunts, hearing their little fucking voices,
the
and the little
best.
shit they say.
Yeah,
It's like so
Absolutely.
charming. Yeah, and then I think it's like the stormtroopers of Star Wars. You just want to see them. You want to see Indiana Jones just kill like Nazis. Like there's just like
and the
certain enemies you want to see. You
the
know,
weapon
like,
variety, the enemy variety, like it's always
Yeah.
changing it up just
so
enough
char-
to
it's
keep you
charming
interested.
in a weird way.
And
Yeah.
the
On
and
top
the
of the hook shot.
See, that's
Like,
exactly
yeah,
what I was
exactly.
gonna say. Is that the way of killing them has evolved too. With grappling them and
The grappling is such a fun
electrifying
mechanic.
them.
Yeah.
Like that, I think
Just
should
the
be
use
in
cases.
like.
It's
I
great.
think it's probably like something like Just Cause, kind of, or in those games where they have like the weird grappling hook. But like, just in this open world game, if you don't have a warthog, or like if the world is so big that you need the hook shot to get around, or you're trying to get up a cliff and you can kind of slingshot yourself like up a wall, or my favorite is hitting a tree and then you kind of zip by it and you fling yourself like off into the distance. Like it is so much fun to.
If you go left and
do
right
that.
as you're going, like if you toggle left and right, if you're being pulled by the hook shot, you
Yeah.
actually go faster, and like those mechanics are just
Oh,
You can
Like-
gain momentum like in
Yeah.
co-op you can hook onto each
Hook onto
other.
each other. Yeah,
So if
it's just
one
we're constantly
person-
doing that,
We should have experimented with this more because if one person is doing a grapple and then you grapple onto them while they're grappling, it'll like double your momentum and fling you forward.
you take a mongoose and you put a plasma grenade underneath it, explodes up, and as it flicks around, you grab.
can
the
grapple
thing,
to it, yeah.
flicks you, then you grapple, then you grapple, then you grapple.
And there's nothing
Even-
there was nothing more satisfying than grappling to an enemy ghost and just
oh
smacking
I was gonna
somebody off
say,
of it.
It's way
That's-
easier to get into warthogs with your
Yeah.
friends. You just
Oh,
grapple
it's so
right on
cool.
in.
One of my
Come
favorite things to do in multiplayer is if I'm in a banshee and some ass takes over my banshee, kicks me out. As I'm falling to the ground, I grapple back into the banshee.
Yeah. That's so
yeah.
cool.
So like you can do a ton of cool stuff that you just kind of have to be a little bit creative to be like, is that possible? And then try it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, that is totally possible.
So
They
what's funny
completely
is
thought
like,
about it. Yeah.
so what's again, this is the cool thing about Halo is it's got it's got a really good single player, like really good gunplay. But the multiplayer is like where it's really popular. And what's funny is like you can't really use a grapple like you can in single player. It's a thing you have to pick up.
A
You have to
limited
pick up.
use item.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Lame.
what's funny is like I know, but like when I first got the game, I was like, well, there's no co-op, then fuck this game. I'll just play co-op when it comes out. I had to wait like a year and a half. I couldn't believe it. But I played multiplayer. Rarely did I ever use a grapple hook.
I never I don't really either.
You
in
just didn't
multiplayer.
use it. Didn't use it. I know Halo. I've played all the Halos. I don't know how to use grapple hook. Like that's just like whatever. I'll whatever. It's from single player. All right, whatever. So I didn't use it. But now that I played the campaign with you guys, I'm like zip 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 zip. Now
But it's disappointing.
it's like a
'cause
giant
there's
tutorial on how to use that thing in multiplayer. So
Yeah.
now I'm like, really, I can't wait to pick it up in multiplayer to do the cool things like zip over to somebody and punch them, or use it to get out, or like
It's just disappointing because it's so limited in multiplayer. You got like 3 shots and then you
Yeah, but could
Like,
you
and
could
it's
you
hard
imagine
to
if everyone
find.
had? if
I know
everyone had, like,
everybody
an
would be
unlimited-
constantly grappling to each
why
other.
don't they
Yeah,
have a mode?
Give
They
everybody
should-
two.
I bet you could do
Forge is
that.
out
I was gonna
with
say, I bet you
Forge.
could do that in Forge mode is unlimited grapple hooks.
Yeah, I mean, you could do. there's a mode called what is that multiplayer mode? It's like Fiesta, right? So Fiesta,
weapons. Fiesta's
they
good.
give you random weapons, and I just pray for like the sword and the grappling hook combo. Because
Dude,
Yeah.
I went through a map once, and we were 13 behind in Slayer, and I won the game in like one swift grappling hook, just swinging myself around the thing, and then as I'm running out, I just pick up more, and I just keep slashing guys with swords. It was awesome.
I like those moments because like you just did something super incredible, right? And then you take your headset off, you go to the like kitchen, you get like something to drink, you're like, hey babe. She has no idea the amazing thing you just pulled off. Like
That's
5
such a good
seconds
point.
ago.
I will say this. More than any game that I play, whatever, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever. Out of any game, this is the game where I take the most like videos of me doing cool shit. Because it's like, how did I just pull that out? Like, I want to remember that. Like, you push that video button on your controller. You're just like, I got to save this for later. Even if I don't show it to anybody, I'm like, I'm going to watch these later and just see how cool I was in multiplayer.
Because it is kind of like, it is skill-based multiplayer. That's the one thing that kind of is cool about it, but is also annoying to me at the same time, because my Halo history is shorter than most. I played a couple of them, played some multiplayer, traded it in for Call of Duty. I'm used to Call of Duty. That's what I do. I'm a duty
Dave's
boy.
had Xbox. Dave's had an Xbox for so long.
Dave's an Xbox boy.
Since the original.
Primarily is an Xbox guy, but he doesn't play
I've never
it's like
the premiere series, yeah.
I like
And
fantasy. You ever watch Lord of the Rings? No.
It's so varied on like I have a list of like pros and cons, and there's just like there's some really good pros, but there's some really annoying
Can you
cons.
run through them? I'd love to hear.
It just sounds like you got to get good at the game.
Yeah, exactly.
We're working on it with him with multiplayer for sure.
But like,
He's getting better.
He said, hold on.
He's
You know
getting
what he
better.
said? You know what he said? He goes, I can't stand that piece of shit 3-shot gun that they give you.
He hates the battle rifle.
Battle
He
rifle's
hates-
trash.
The battle rifle is the best gun in
stand
the
it.
fucking game.
Give
The
me
battle
a
rifle is pretty good.
give me the commando and give me a
The Commando's just a
Shotgun
shittier
bullhog.
version of the battle rifle.
No, it's the worst gun. In the
Oh,
game.
I hate the. So there's a mode where it's like the in multiplayer, they give everyone just the same gun, and like that's the only gun you can have. I forget what it's called.
Oh, you're talking about
Well, there's
SWAT?
ta-
not SWAT.
There's Tactical
not-
Slayer. Tactical
Tactical
Slayer.
Okay, yeah. So Tactical Slayer, but when they give everyone commandos, and
Yes,
then there's
yep.
like that one motherfucker in the lobby who's like really good at commando for some reason. I'm like, you don't get laid. You're. It's like I hate you.
Man, it's all about that medium distance headshot. Those are so good. But no, I like the multiplayer is just it's a different kind of beast because it's like that old school, like everybody starts on the same even level, like multiplayer. It's not like you're building classes where some dude may have a jacked up P90 that he's been playing with for months. Like everybody's starting out with the same gun. Everybody has the chance to get the same guns that are getting like dropped into the map, which is partly, yes, I need to get better. And also like, cause it's like, there's an art
That's
form
what I
to
like
it.
about it.
Art
Yeah, it's
form
like a
to the
sport.
multiplayer
It's like
because
every
it's a
football game,
dance.
It's the same football. It's the same rules. It's the same it's like when you have even ground. It's like chess. It's like
it's
the
like
same
a
thing.
timing thing though with the shields,
But
like the shields and then the gun button, the
Right.
shields and the gun, like
There
and then
is
you
a
gotta
rhythm.
There
Yes,
is.
there's
It's
a very-
There's definitely like I see what Dave is saying in the sense that it gives everyone the same equal opportunity. The thing that I wish it does is that it puts you in with a team that is kind of close to your level, so you don't get stuck with like a bunch of noobs or like you're
Rarely do I feel like I'm being completely dominated in multiplayer, like Halo specifically, Halo Infinite multiplayer. But like if I play Call of Duty, I feel like I just get trounced. You know?
No,
Like,
sometimes
can't
I do.
anything.
Sometimes I'm in a Halo game, multiplayer game, and I'm like I know I'm not bad, but these guys are good.
You're looking out the window.
Well, that's where you run into like when you're playing
am
Team
I?
Slayer. and there's like a group of 4 guys where they always play together, and they've been like playing for months and months, and like
they have their call
I've run
outs.
into a couple.
They
of
have their
like,
call outs, and they're like, "Yeah, he's behind that wall right there." It's like, I hate you. Yeah.
Me and Eric were getting into it yesterday. Like the other day when we were waiting for Brandon to get online and we're playing multiplayer, and we actually started coordinating and like.
We were
I was running around
up.
with a plasma gun. I was the shield guy, and then
yes.
he would clean it up, and it was a nice kind of 1-2 combo. But
Oh, dude, you got to play doubles. Get a buddy and do doubles. Exactly. You lure him in. Oh, look at me. My shields are done. Oh, what do I do? And the other was like, bow, from behind, asshole. Teabag. Where's the other one?
The other thing too is that like I haven't played in a while because I've been out of the country and I'm not dragging my Xbox everywhere I go, right? But for this, I decided to boot it up and play like for maybe like 2 or 3 hours today. So I was like, I need to remember why I'm talking about this game.
Yeah.
But in my first battles, I ate ass. I did so bad. And then I finally got back to the skill level that I was like used to. And I feel like it's one of those things that even if you walk away from it for a little bit, you lose that rhythm that you had.
you got it,
And, and it's really like practice makes perfect sort of situation where you just actually have to keep. One time I was in what's that game? God, I'm just forgetting all the names of this. I just play.
That's
I don't memorize the game.
million things out there, dude.
Yeah. The one where you have the skull. You got to keep the skull. Oddball, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So one time I was like, I've been playing for a while, and I got real good at oddball, and I just like crouched in a corner, and it was like
Oddball's fun.
Enemies
Oddball is
come
fun.
2 ways. They came to try to get me, and I just meleeed, and I won the game. And I literally got like 17 kills by just meleeing guys going left and right.
You can, because it's one hit kills, I think, with it, right?
Unless you get super unlucky if you're the meleeer, or if you get super lucky if you're the dude, you could walk away after getting hit once. So
Okay.
But yeah. No, it's definitely a skill thing, which is you know.
Yeah, and it's just a different kind of multiplayer that I'm used to, which is why. I think
you've
I think
been
we're doing
playing
well
it with us. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're sticking.
It's because
it out
I'm
and,
the
like,
noob, and you guys are playing against lesser people because my score is helping you guys out.
right. Yeah. But yeah, once you get that rhythm, because like when you play Call of Duty, it's you could look left, the guys to the right, and you're dead. There's no,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
whoever sees the other
Hate
person
that.
first kind of thing. And then if they're in a kill streak, they can just run through people. And trust me, I love Call of Duty. I play those games. I like them. But like Halo, what I like about Halo, and yes, it's a little archaic, and some you can see in its foundation. You can see that at least it came from like an old school kind
Old
of genre,
Quake
but
arena kind of. Yeah.
a little bit. But today now, I just feel that like if I look left and the guy was to my right and he shoots me, I can tell by the bullets that he's using how far he was, what my options are. Okay, shit, he's got a shotgun. If I just turn around and back up, I can keep my distance and I can do something. Or like if he's shooting a needler, I gotta like slide to the right and get out of here. Or if you just hit me with a pistol, like, all right, what do you run out of ammo? Everything there like gives me like an ability to respawn. But in Call of Duty, it's like, I didn't see you respawn.
That's exactly
dance.
what I love
There's
about it. Because like
there's no dance. You know
there's-
what I'm saying?
there's no better feeling in a Halo multiplayer match is when you pull a reversal off on somebody. Somebody gets the drop on you. Your shields are down. You turn around and fucking, I don't know, get their shields down and melee them, and they had the drop on you, but you still have the chance to turn it around on the other person. Like with Call of Duty, if someone gets the drop on you, you're dead.
Ceremonious teabagging.
Yeah. So Eric said that's the best feeling, and I agree. You know what? The worst feeling in Halo is when you have a sword and you're going to kill someone with a fucking pistol.
And you miss.
Oh, no. Is that as you're running up to them, they're backing up fast enough and shooting you that they kill you before you get to the
Bull stop, I think they call it, or
no, bull stop has to be while you're in the charge, like while you've like hooked onto them.
You're just like no,
right?
Just run at them.
Yeah, and then you're like,
the game
God
makes
damn
you
it.
angry.
It does.
I feel like if you had a camera on somebody playing Halo, you would see like, fuck yeah, fucking asshole.
Dude, I get heated.
What is coming? It's just something about that game.
See, the
Makes you
combo
a creature.
with comparing to Call of Duty, you're saying that like you can have those one-on-one reversals and stuff like that, but At the same time, you turn a corner and there's two dudes there, you're fucked. Like,
Oh, I just
Yeah.
throw plasmas.
Call it-
You gotta
I
stick
throw
together.
plasmas like
the
crazy.
Call of Duty, that one person can take out the two people that are trying to shoot. Like, it's kind of the same in reverse, because you being able to die quicker also means that you can walk into a room of two people and kill those two people. I don't know. They're completely. I mean, they're multiplayer games. They're different flavors of the same soda, I guess we could say. I don't know. There definitely is that rhythm and that skill to it, though, which is just something you got to get used to. It's its own
Yeah.
animal. which
I
is
feel
cool.
like if you're really good at Call of Duty, you're not necessarily good at Halo, and vice versa too.
Yeah.
And
It's hard
it's
to
like
do
a
both.
completely different rhythm.
Mhm.
It's like
But
dancing the
what's
salsa,
interesting,
going
though,
to the waltz.
I don't know if there's any science to this, but like if I play just one exclusively for a while, right? Like let's say one comes out, I play that franchise for a while. And the other one comes out, then I play that franchise for a while. But I feel like sometimes there's an overlap, and I'll go back and forth between Call of Duty and Halo. I feel like when that does happen, the one teaches me moves that I wouldn't typically apply, but like it lets me, and I don't know if there's anything to it or if it's in my head, but like I would never have done that if I just played Call of Duty, because I do that in Halo. I took that tactic and applied it here, and sometimes it throws off, like you said, like somebody gets a drop on you, the first thing you do is like, all right, grenade, or there's two of them, you use a grenade. In
Right.
Call of Duty, you might just always duck, lay down, shoot. You try to shoot your way out of it. Where Halo, you in a counter like that, like you're gonna use your grenade. So in Call of Duty, if you did that, it might throw them like, oh shit, this guy threw a grenade. It might throw them off because it's a Halo tactic. I don't know if there's any science to this.
I see what you're saying, but it's also a little different because for Call of Duty, you're dealing with more real world elements to it, and then for Halo, you have the plasma grenade, which can stick to any surface, and you have like the laser, the
Hard light laser.
the hard light
Sweet.
laser, yeah. And so you have those like different options, and because you have so many options, you have so many options of getting out of a situation. If I know I'm dead, like if I'm absolutely screwed, I just throw a plasma at the base of my feet. Because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you down with me. So
death from the grave, right?
yeah. Get a sticky and a death from the grave. It's great.
That's always good. Like, oh, asshole killed me, but then you're from the grave. Yeah, eat it.
Or just chucking grenades across the map, and then you just get that little like, oh, boom, that guy died because of that loose grenade. That's a good feeling too.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to change the subject, we've been talking a lot about multiplayer, all the good stuff. I do want to levy some complaints at the campaign a bit, because I did have some complaints, and I know, I think we all did. Zero, you said, Dave?
No, I said let's hear them.
Oh, let's hear them.
We've all got them.
Well, I mean, Brandon brought this up earlier. It does feel like an evolution of Halo 1, like Halo Combat Evolved, which I mean, that's the main one that I have a history with. Like, I would consider myself a Halo fan, but Halo 1 is the main, like, I put, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of hours into that game as a kid. Like, I tangentially messed with the other ones, but I think the first one and this one are the only campaigns that I've actually finished, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to play a Reach, brother.
I know.
man.
I've heard nothing but good
That
things
was
about
good.
that. About that.
And that
campaign.
multiplayer is so creative.
Reach wasn't Master Chief, right?
No.
Okay.
That's
No.
why
No, but it's
you
the
would
Master
like
Chief collection for some reason, so you
right.
can still experience it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
It's a
well,
good game.
where I was going with that point is that I think some of the at least mission designs in here feel a little bit antiquated, like Halo 1.
Yes.
So, I mean, what I mean by that is like Halo 1, you're going, especially the library is what, comes to mind when you think of you're going down the same looking hallways, killing the same enemies. This had a little bit of that towards the end as well. You're in these
I feel like-
structures that kind of each hallway you go down is just a little bit samey. You go from terminal to terminal, putting weapon
That's
down.
Halo. That's
She
a
gives
Halo
you a
thing in
little bit
general.
of-
That's a Halo thing.
It is a Halo thing, but it's not good storytelling, in my opinion.
It's not, but it's a Halo thing. And I think that's why Halo 4 got to me so bad, is because in my opinion, it did it the worst. Where every time it was like a new chapter and you had like A to Z protocol going down, blah, blah, blah. It's always like, you have to break these 3 pillars. You have to take down these 3, bastion, launchers. You got to take down you got to blow up 3, ships. And it's always in threes. And you just see the pattern. It's like, yeah, I get it. Oh my God. And but that's a Halo thing. And it's how they formulate that could make it cool. And I feel like as far as like Halo 2 did that really well, I feel like, because it was there, but it was masked by just good storytelling, and Halo 3 kind of. But
the opening trilogy, there's a focus though. It seemed like Halo came out and they're like, holy shit, wow, people really like that game. We should make another one. And like 2 was just like, well, I don't know. There's fucking like all these other things because like it's called Halo. They blow up Halo in the first Halo game. You play as Master Chief, so they added this whole story to it, and that's fine. 2 is actually a good story, good variety. It's like The Empire Strikes Back, right? It's everything that you like of the first one, but more, and it puts a spin on things. That's fine. This campaign looked like, let's go back to our roots, but I think they spent way too much time on the engine, art direction, and making good gameplay.
Dude, it looks so fucking good, though.
It's always had... And it's gorgeous, like especially this interior with the reflections and stuff like that.
Yeah,
well, it looks stunning in 120 frames and all that stuff. It does, but
it's really crazy to me.
Story,
dude. Yeah, it's really crazy to me because like Halo Infinite, they didn't call this Halo 6.
I don't know why they
Halo
didn't,
Infinite,
which felt like fucking 6.
Halo Infinite, to me, having a new name, going off the numbers, they make it seem like it's like a reboot. You know, people who are not familiar with the series can get into this game.
It feels like a reboot. I can see that.
But
so does the Force Awakens, and that's not. It's still a 7.
Listen, the story in this campaign, you have no idea what the fuck is going on if you didn't play the other games. You have no clue
what was happening. There's Halos. There's Banished. There's bad guys. There's good guys. There's Cortana.
Humans and aliens.
I feel like that's every single Halo game.
At this point, there's too much history with the franchise and like all the stories they've told up to this point that, I mean, you could have made a completely different story. You didn't have to continue where it left off from Halo 5. You could have rebooted it as a new story, but this just feels like a direct continuation, which I had no context for what happened in the previous game. So the story just fell flat on me, which I'm not really coming to this game for the story.
If you play in defense of the first Halo though, like, which is an amazing opening level, you're just attacked by fucking aliens. And you just, all right, now we're just attacking aliens. So in a sense, though, like, that's just the Halo way. It's just,
I think
there's aliens.
They keep it simple. They keep it simple with that concept. This is like getting into, it's introducing all these different alien races.
Or
I'm
what's
like,
his face?
I don't know who these guys.
At you.
Yeah, like who the fuck is Atriox? I don't know what your deal. I don't know. Whatever.
But the thing about the story is that there's almost kind of like a tale of two stories going on here, right? There's like Halo and the aliens and the Banished and that, and then there's the Cortana stuff. Yes. And I think the Cortana stuff is the stuff that
interesting.
It's more interesting, but that's the stuff you need to know of all the other previous Halo stuff. Even Reach, exactly what is this Cortana stuff about? Because then it's like it keeps going to detail about. Imagine if you know nothing about Halo, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, so Cortana, but it's not the real Cortana, but it's a facsimile of the Cortana. It's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But because we know, it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. And I hated what they did with Cortana in 4 and 5. And that the fact that they're kind of rebooting her here.
Dude, we know she should have been killed off.
Well, I was going to say.
Killed off. Honestly, like, as much as I like the character and the actress and all stuff, it would have been so much more powerful if she was rampant and she lasted just a little bit longer, but she's no different. And then, because that's what happens to all AI. You know the history of AI characters? We all know that's how they're made, right? Like where they come from.
You refresh me, please.
Yeah.
So this is what I like about Halo. You ever see Soldier, the movie Soldier, with Kurt Russell?
No. But
nope.
No.
Sounds interesting.
Well, anyways, it's a military program. They start abducting kids. They put the kids into this military program. It's very extreme. And eventually they get to a certain point where like they test them and they have to become Spartans. And when they go to this big phase, they're either going to survive it and then become these superhumans and wear these super suits and become like these badass soldiers, or their body can't take it and they either die or they're not dead, like their body's dead but their brain is still alive, and they take their brain and they basically kind of clone it into software and they make AIs.
Oh.
So the AIs that you see used to be kids that just didn't make the cut, and that's like the humans. So, but they can only last for 7 years and then they go rampant and then they shut down, they go crazy and then all that shit. So they only have a 7-year lifespan. The thing about
it's a little Blade Runner-y.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Halo is very inspired by things, but so is Indiana Jones, so is Star Wars. Everybody is
everything.
Inspired from the Beatles, Zeppelin, they're all inspired from something shit. But anyway, so Cortana was based off of Dr. Halsey. She's the lady who led this whole program with Commander Keyes, who dies in the first Halo, that is like, all right, let's abduct these kids, let's make this program because we need super soldiers to fight the Covenant, or we're losing, right?
Question.
So they do this thing.
Do you die when you're made into an AI? Like your body dies?
Yeah, you're dead. You're
Okay.
just like the brain that they kind of cloned into it. So you're really
I
just
feel
leftover.
I feel so stupid. You explaining this whole thing, I now know why they're called Spartans. Because that's what they used to do back in ancient Greece, where they would take kids and they would, if you weren't strong enough, you'd die. They get thrown off the cliff, and the ones who survived became Spartans.
I got a bit.
So that's it.
Hold on, I got a bit confused. How does Kurt Russell play into any of this?
So
I was lost on that.
There is a movie called Soldier. And
so you're saying Halo was based off of Soldier?
It's funny because it was supposed to be like a sequel to. It's in the same world as Blade Runner, but it was it takes place like it's crazy. But anyways, Kurt Russell is part of this program where like all these kids were abducted, and they take these little kids and they literally like have like a scene where all the kids are like jogging, and one kid is just chunky and he just can't keep up, and the captain just comes up and just shoots the kid and he's dead.
Damn.
So they had this extreme program where all these kids were grown to be these badass soldiers, but they were only human. And then a new version of soldiers come out where they're kind of built with like optimized genetics and stuff like that. So they're like superhumans from the lab, and they're more efficient. So all of them get killed off except one left. One survives.
Kurt Russell.
So he's with these like ragtag humans who are surviving this junk planet, and he like gets them to stand up, and those super soldiers show up, and him with the people with the will to, and what it is to be human, defeat them. I mean, whatever, but the same kind of concept, same thing with Halo. But just to end that thing, Halsey, she also had her brain cloned, not dies, but she had her brain like imprinted into AI, and that was Cortana. And the thing is that the weapon in the story, the AI that we meet that looks just like Cortana, is like the leftover kind of brain cells that they grafted to imprint this AI. So it's just like leftover cells that they had.
Wait, what? I thought she was like a copy of Cortana, like before all this shit.
She's like another. So like when Cortana goes crazy and starts like making guardians and stuff like that, and like trying to end all stuff or whatever, Halsey's like, all right, then there's like a lab left where I have some brain cells left. We can make another.
She was
Cortana
just a backup.
Stop.
It was a backup, essentially.
Yeah, so she made. So she had this version to kind of go against. Yeah, I watched like some YouTube video kind of explaining Halo up till now, and I read some books back when I was really into Halo, but from all that.
I was gonna say, Alain and Brandon
being lore.
Having played all of the games up to this point, all the campaigns, did you guys get something good out of the story in this game?
Oh man, I gotta say the pilot guy is probably the strongest part of the story.
Cassian Andor,
it's like the connection to humanity.
Yeah, he was really like a nice, fresh part of Halo that you don't really see. He's just a dude doing his best.
Animals. Chief, my eyes didn't deceive me back there.
We need to go.
3 UNSC Condors. Seeing one is rare. Finding 3? It's a miracle. I should have known better. Torn apart. Completely gutted. Sleep space drives obliterated.
We don't have the time.
Over there's another. Shattered and cratered over a kilometer. And there, the last one. All of it. Crushed. Broken. Beaten. Useless.
Enough.
When? When is it enough, Chief? When we're in there? Because that's where I belong. In there. With them. Worthless junk. Not this. I'm not you. I'm not a pilot. I'm not even a soldier, a marine. I'm a fraud. I stole that pelican. I stole it. You know why? Of course you don't. Have you ever been scared? So scared that you...
Having him with like, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm like a pretty emotional guy, so when he is like not giving up on the new Cortana, and Cortana's like, we gotta save Chief, and then they're like, yeah, and in the end she's like, I know what I want my name to be. I was just like,
that you got
tears. I was like, damn.
What is she gonna be? Is she gonna be Cortana?
Yeah, she's gonna be,
Of
of course. Well, she's gonna be like,
that's,
no,
that's the implication.
She didn't
like,
say it. I was just curious.
I was gonna say
you can call me Jeff.
my name's Karen.
Fucking AI Karens.
No, but I mean, I was like, they hit all the right beats for something that I kind of gave up on with 4 and 5. I was just like, whatever, it's never going to be good. And then they kind of bring it back in this way.
Definitely brought it back.
I just thought it was really. Have any of you guys seen the show, the Halo, the new Halo
No, I
show?
can't bring myself to watch
Starring
it.
Kurt Russell.
I really like.
You liked it?
I really liked it.
I was gonna say I've heard nothing but not great things about it.
I think the ending falters a little bit because the CGI isn't quite there, and they're like, oh, you know what would look cool? This. You know what we don't care about? This emotional stuff. Let's just put it aside for the cool looking
the emotional
cool
part
looking
is
stuff.
actually
Okay.
the part that's what made Halo. Like that was
No. So they have that like throughout the whole film. I mean, the film. They have that throughout the whole series. Like they're hitting all the emotional beats. It's like there's this moment. It happens in episode 1, so I'm not going to spoil it for anyone.
Don't worry, dude. You
too
didn't
much
spoil.
But Master Chief takes off his helmet.
Yeah. Saw on Twitter. They all freaked out like
And
it's a freaking helmet.
and
But yes, I guess that's the thing.
It kind of shocked me too. I was like, "Oh no, we never see his helmet." But the whole point is that this is a show. This isn't a game. You're not playing the show, right? Like the amazing thing about the game is that you can put yourself into Master Chief, and you are Master Chief, and that's how you play the game. But a show, we have to actually have someone like a physical person with a personality that we can root for.
Yeah.
And it humanizes him a little bit.
The game,
So
he needs some fucking person. I don't like Master Chief's he kind of sucks.
You might like the show because the Schreiber guy gives a really good performance as this soldier being. It's basically the whole story. His story is he believes in this cause. He's a diehard to this cause. Nothing can make him waver except this one thing. And that's how he kind of breaks down that he realizes his whole existence, everything that he's been fighting for is a sham. And I really like that. I think that's really cool.
All right,
It
well,
sounds
selling me on the
much more
show a little bit.
interesting,
Yeah.
He has sentences longer than like 4 to 5 words. And
Yeah,
He is a man of few words in the game, that's for sure.
No,
That's
he's a
the
cool.
thing. That's part of
he's
the
a
charm.
cool character in this. He like, and you know what it reminds me a lot of, and I mean like, a lot of is the Mandalorian. A lot of.
that's
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
That's another.
So like, you know how the Mando never takes off his helmet, right? Rule number 1, right? But he does, and then
Every season he finds a way where he's got to take the damn thing off to remind
Right.
us that Pedro Pascal is voicing the character. Yeah.
And then the second thing is that he has this thing that he has to like deliver to kill, but then he realizes that, oh, maybe my organization that I'm dying, like I fought so hard alongside isn't in the right this time. It's like the same thing, but it's just done a little bit different way in the Halo universe. So it's cool.
Well, this Master
cool.
Chief has emotional stress that he's applying to himself because he's taking it to heart that all the things that have happened is on him. I mean, like, he's like the guy who is really meant to save humanity, and he has done a pretty good job considering, but he feels he has failed humanity.
Why?
And he definitely feels that he failed Cortana.
There's like 116 other Spartans out there. It's not all on him.
Well, I don't know. Are there any left? Are there? So they went
I don't
from,
know.
like,
He's
having
117.
one
I
master-
figure there's a whole bunch of them more.
I don't know if they're I don't know if there's any left.
Well, they talk
at
about
this point.
Cortana blowing up
No.
the Spartan facility at some point during the campaign where
Yeah, I don't know what
she
happened to
kills
the ones-
everybody else.
because there's
We're-
8 of them, or a whole bunch of them in 5.
Yeah, and
We
you're
also
finding,
fought- I don't
know
you're
what happened
finding
to all
dead
those
ones
guys.
all over.
Yeah, you find
all
dead
over the Halo.
Spartans throughout this campaign.
Yeah, but they kind of
Isn't it-
ends out of nowhere because like I thought
I
they
agree.
hit like 4.
It's a funny thing too because you find them like when they've just died, but you've never seen a live one.
2 days ago.
yeah.
It was an excuse, a gameplay mechanic to get your like because whenever you find them you get the upgrades for like
You get the upgrade, but wouldn't it be cool if like you're just walking around and then all of a sudden you're kind of thrown into the story mode because this other Spartan guy just like fucking jumps in front of you and starts like shooting a bunch.
Dude, that's so. If PlayStation was doing it, that's what they would do. They would take those more emotional moments where another one shows up and he's fighting alongside you. He's like, "Damn, Chief, I'm glad that we." And you get stabbed from the back, you know, and it's just like shit. There's only a few of us left. It's like a fucking Jedi dying. Like shit. Yeah. It's incredible how we can literally cry about a character an hour later. Shit, you watch Up, you're crying about a character you just met without really much dialogue in like 5 minutes, you know? So, like, but give us time with these characters to really hit that emotion. Because the Chief is like, kneels down, puts his hand on it. He's having a moment. But as a gamer, we're like, I was just killing shit. And now some guy dies. I don't know anything about him, but I want to kill more shit. There's no relationship. Let us share a level.
And
There's
there's
no
3
internal
characters.
dialogue. Yeah.
There's 3 characters in this game. You know, you got the
That's it.
pilot, you got weapon, and you got Master Chief. That's it.
I forget about the
There's
big
nobody
angry,
else to-
the big angry guy. He's always
Yeah,
talking
but-
shit too.
I mean,
Those
like,
cutscenes
yeah.
are good. Like that's one thing I wrote down is like the visuals and the cutscenes and the voice acting. I'm
Cutscenes
like,
have always been good in Halo.
they're
I know
solid.
you guys co-op this, but did you find this like the whole story is that you find all these dead Spartans because they've been defeated by the people that you're about to face off. Did you find this kind of easy to get through? Like
With the 3 of us,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, that was way easier.
We played
Well,
on
the 3
heroic, and
You can
it
cheese
was-
the game, but one just stay far away, and the other 2 will respawn, and then you go back in. And
okay,
just
Right.
I guess, but like even all by myself, I found it kind of easy, and I didn't play it on heroic because I'm not brave. But I played
Yeah.
it. I played it on just normal, and I feel like even normal is supposed to give you a little bit of a challenge. But then you see all these Spartans being dead. I kept thinking, I was like, are these actually Spartans, or are these some dudes that just stole Spartan armor? Because I was like,
why are you dead?
why are you
asshole?
dead? Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, I guess John is just that good. I guess that's what they want to say. It's like,
Master Chief.
Master Chief is always just that
So,
good.
well, they cover that up because they created a subplot in Halo 2 and 3, which was in the books and in the story of 2 and 3, but it was just subtle in 2, but definitely in 3, is that John has luck. That was the thing about John.
They
Like,
mentioned
when they
that
were
in this
going
one.
out, did they say that? Because like when they go around when they started taking these kids into this program, they found this like redheaded kid that was just like something about him. They walked up to him and they tested him like this kid's lucky as shit. He's got this luck about him. So everything about John is that he's lucky. So that's why he survives, because he's lucky.
Cortana
they-
does
they
mention
kind
that
of-
at some point. During
Did
the
they talk
Yeah.
about it in this one?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
said that she saw something in you and it was like luck or something like that.
in the flashback shit.
In the
Yeah.
show, John is special for a different reason, and I actually like. It's not saying it's luck reminds me of like those skill checks that you have to do in like the video games where it's like, oh, up your like in D&D, like
Yes,
5 points
yeah.
for luck, or like, you know, like you're putting together your stats.
This rocket launcher has 8 ammo instead of 2.
Yeah, no, you
Thank
just
God
pick
they
it up,
didn't
it's
do
like,
that.
wow. But But then, like in the show, it kind of dives deeper. I was like, why he was chosen, and I like the way the show did that. Did that more. Yeah.
Is that on? That's on like Paramount, isn't it?
It's on Paramount Plus, and I think you can get the add-on through Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you play this campaign in single player. When you come up against hunters, see, this is the thing about Halo that I like is like with co-op, it makes the game easier. But like you can just fuck with the AI. So like when you go against 2 hunters by yourself, dude, that's a tough fight because the hunters are the big guys with the shields that shoot the big green cannons.
I like hunters because they're slow.
How do you get around 2 of them? Like we were having a hard time with the 3 of us that we really went around just so we can.
Plasmas. I just load them up on like I throw it in there. You know, it's like their orange exposed sides that you have to hit it.
Yeah,
up,
their
right?
body under their armor. Yep.
So it's like
Yeah, you got 2 people in the front, 1 in the back, trying to get his soft squishy
know.
spot.
For me, I just found it like if you throw a bunch of grenades, the explosion from the grenades would signal that you're hitting those spots without having to like aim and shoot at those spots.
I also found the Needler is really, really good against hunters because the Needler it auto locks on them and it hits their soft spot automatically. So I found that if you just spam the Needler on them, it can take them out pretty quick.
Best invention that Halo.
The Needler is
like
so good.
It is awesome.
So underrated.
Not as good as it was in Halo 3. Halo 3
it's true.
Needler was.
Oh my god!
You could be it was just double the range, and I would just melt people. And Halo 4.
Can I ask a
good
question?
Needler.
Why'd they take out dual wielding?
Why'd they take out the plasma rifle from the first Halo and 2?
I don't know why they took out dual wielding.
Dual wielding was the best.
Especially like
Halo 2,
the submachine
About
guns.
that,
Yeah, the submachine gun too. Yeah.
I don't know.
They got rid of all that stuff.
It took me a while to know that they got rid of it because I kept trying to pick up another pistol or another, and I was like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah. You know, you have a plasma pistol or a plasma rifle in one hand.
You want to know why? You want to know
Take
why?
their shields down and then kinetic weapon in the other hand.
Honest to God, here's why. Because you needed a free hand to shoot your grapple thing.
Yep,
That's why.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, but it's on your wrist. You don't need a hand.
But they got rid of dual wielding in like 4. I
was gonna say that was
it was only
it was
around
gone a
2
while
and 3
ago.
in ODST. I think Reach maybe with certain guns, but I think 4 and 5 they got rid of it, and 6 they got rid of it. Now here's what I think it is: because you got people playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty's massive, right? What do you do in Call of Duty? ADS, aim down sight. You hold left trigger to get a better view. Camera zooms in a little bit, and you shoot.
You can
when
still
you're playing
dual wield,
Halo,
though.
Dave, right? When you play Halo, it's archaic. It's an older school game. You can tell because it's like they don't have that for a long time. They didn't have sprint. They didn't have aim down sight. So you just left trigger was like throwing a grenade back in the day, right? But with Call of Duty becoming so popular, you want to attract some of those Call of Duty players. What do? You get rid of the grenade on like left trigger, and now it's aim down sight.
I was gonna say if you're
You know what I'm
dual if you're dual wielded, well, I guess
You can't dual wield when you have.
You can dual
Left
wield in
trigger's
Call of
supposed to
Duty
be-
though. It's nice on the smaller maps. You can be a real asshole with dual Uzis
Yeah, but
or something like that.
I'm pretty sure like you could only, even when dual wielding was a thing, you could only dual wield like the smaller guns, right?
Handguns
Like,
or-
yeah, the
It
one
was supposed to be
hand
the small
weapons,
pistols.
yeah.
You could have combos, but yes.
yeah. So
But I think they just dropped that whole mechanic. You know.
what do you guys think they're gonna do for the next one?
I don't know. I don't know what their
hoping-
plan is as far as like next one goes. Because like Halo Infinite makes it sound like, okay, this is the Halo
That's
that we're
what I was
gonna
gonna say.
stick with from now. Like they could
And they'll
just
add DLC
add on to it,
chapters.
yeah.
they could just make another whole chunk, you know, another whole map if they wanted to, and just put it in this game.
It
'Cause
is
they
a whole
They already
rig.
have the engine. Yeah, they already have the engine. Why not just add on to this? And then this seems like it's going to be their live service multiplayer game going forward. So I would imagine we're not going to get a new game for a long time. I think they're just going to keep updating this one.
I've been buying the battle passes for the multiplayer as they've come out. So I think it's on the 3rd one now. I've completed the other 2, 100%ed them. I'm
Damn.
like level 25 for the newest thing. And I I hate it because they get me in like buying shit that I don't need. It's like, oh, I this helmet is really cool. This like shoulder pad's really cool looking. It's like, is it gonna make me a better player? Hell no, but I'm gonna look fucking awesome doing it.
I have a buddy who's really into the multiplayer, and that's all he wants to play. And he's always like, check out my new outfit. And I'm like, I don't buy anything. I just play the game.
I was gonna say we all got like the base shitty armor.
That's the one thing I wrote down is that like, because I don't have the battle pass or whatever, but the multiplayer unlock progression kind of blows if you don't have it.
If you don't have the battle pass, you're not unlocking anything.
You don't unlock anything.
It's flat.
You don't even get like the special currency where some game systems will give you like a little bit, so you like maybe you buy one thing every once in a while. Like,
it gives you a little taste.
They give you nothing. You get
they don't
shit,
give you anything.
So.
Yeah.
I just you don't see your skin when you're playing the game. Only other people do. So why am I paying people to see? Like, why am I?
Because
you want to look
because
cool.
You see it in two ways. You see it when you die, and then you,
right.
And then you see it if you win the match. You get a pose with all your homies.
Yeah, you get your cool whatever 1-2 punch
so
in the beginning.
This is the thing that I don't like about Halo's like bro mentality sometimes, and I get it's military and it's space dudes killing aliens, stuff like that, but with Halo 5, I remember they did this. They released like over the weekend like a multiplayer demo, and just before the match, everybody was just like high-fiving and fist bumping and stuff like that. And I'm like, why are the characters doing this before a multiplayer? It just seems so juvenile. Like they should be like geared up, like we're Spartans. We're going to take.
You're also going, you're going into a life or death scenario.
Yeah, so they must have gotten rid of it because like when the game finally came out, I was like, oh, good, that animation's gone, right? So when I watch this game again, it's just cheesy. It's like,
not quite to that level.
Backs to you.
They're doing like a one. They're doing a 1-2 punch. Yeah, knuckle
I'm
crack,
just
arms crossed.
The art direction, like, all right, guys. So we can't just have the players just standing there with their fists up, ready to like fight. So we need to come up with some cool animations. We could also, and it's just like brainstorming. That like one guy was like, "How about his back is to him, but he's like looking over his shoulder." Like they had this conversation. They had to have had this conversation.
You know what'd be
just, to me,
cool?
just cheesy.
You know what'd be cool because they know which weapons you have coming, like loading into the game at the beginning of the match. You like whether it's Fiesta or whatever, they know what weapon loadout you have. It would be cool if you're like cocking and loading your weapon as like that's going on. That
one out of the 4 people gets an animation. The other ones stand there because they're like in the zone, and one guy's like got the gun over the shoulders. He's like lighting a cigarette.
I mean, I'm surprised
he's putting his helmet on. Anything's cool, but not everybody. It's my turn. Now I go to this guy. Now it's my turn, and they go. It's like everybody. It's like a pop band coming out, and everybody's doing like a move before they start.
That's also to hide a little bit of the loading. There's like a technical reason.
Yeah,
for
gamer
that,
work.
but...
If you give me lore, I don't care. Show me parts of the
my
map.
favorite pose is when they're like doing this. They're like ready to like bounce, like go.
Oh, right before the sights, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't lean into it fully and go like Overwatch, like you're unlocking different victory poses and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they're in there. It's just you don't get them probably unless you get the battle pass. But
one thing we didn't victory poses if you win the match.
Well, one thing we didn't talk about that I think is one of the high points of this game is Forge.
Yeah, we didn't really dive too much into that, but
how awesome it is that like you can just build anything your mind can fucking bring up. I wish it was way more integrated into the multiplayer. I wish there was just like a top 20 Forge maps, and then like they just let you play like unranked multiplayer on them or something like that, which would be awesome. But like we went and played like random game in Whiterun from Skyrim, and like that map was
so
that
cool.
map was legit.
It was like 1-to-1, man. It was crazy.
Really impressive.
I went back and I played like the GoldenEye map. I played the facility from Nintendo 64 GoldenEye, and like
the Mario 64.
It wasn't as nice as that one, but like it is cool how like you can any old maps that you can probably think of from any old Halos. I'm sure there's recreations of friggin' all of them at this point, but pulling in maps from other games, pulling in like random stuff. It's cool.
That's another thing I want to mention. You just reminded me is the map selection in multiplayer. I feel like is really limited. You get like a rotation of maybe 3 or 4 maps that you get stuck with. I find that this new battle pass has introduced maybe I don't know. I must have played like maybe 7 to 10 matches today, and I think I found 2 new maps. That's cool.
Nice.
And then one is just a recycled neon version of an
Halo
older
2.
map. Yeah. But I thought, I was like, okay, well, that there's more than that. But like, bring back Blood Gulch, or
Dude,
bring
they should
back...
make this like you know what they did with Mario Kart 8? They brought back all the old tracks
I love how Mario
from all the
Kart
previous
does.
games.
I
do
love
that.
they just
Do the
add to it.
same
It's
thing.
like Mortal Kombat. Hey, you like the characters from the last one? How about that? And the new ones.
Exactly.
Just keep the classics.
I would love to play like you were saying. I'd love to play like Blood Gulch or Domination or whatever the maps were called in Halo 1 in the new engine. You know, like that would be so. I mean, I'm sure those are in Forge mode, but
yeah, they have to be.
But just bring back the old maps. You got such a well to choose from.
Yeah. Okay. So I think as far as open world campaign goes, the strongest thing is the grappling gun, because you can go up mountains, you can go up structures, you can go. I mean, I went up like
I never really switched off the
never
grapple.
switched.
I used the drop wall a couple times, but that's about it.
I only switched to try to go from grapple to jetpack to see how far I could actually fly, quote unquote. But yeah, I mean there was this huge structure, and I climbed all the way on top, and I found a skull, and I was like, "Oh shit, these are in here too." So
the skulls,
yeah, the skulls. And here's something that a big critique of mine is that I was like, all right, so I found this one skull by accident, so I looked up all the locations of all the other skulls. So I was like, I gotta find them all now. So I go and find them all. There's like 3 that if you move past the beginning first couple of levels in the campaign, you cannot go back and get them. And I was like, I have to restart this whole fucking game just to get these 3 skulls.
That sucks. Yeah.
And I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to do that. But I'm like, I wish they told you, like, hey, you can't go back to these levels. You should really like look out for certain things.
Stuff. Got to get that stuff. Collect them all.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks. I feel like we should probably end this conversation on Halo.
I
don't want to end on
There's
that.
a lot to talk about.
Like,
More to talk about than I thought there would
Let's
be.
finish up about how awesome the grunts are, because they're just fucking hilarious.
Please, Dave.
They're
let
so
us do
funny.
hear it.
There's so many ups and downs in this game, but there's more ups than there are downs. But grunts just make me chuckle. They have so many voice lines for them. They always have something stupid to say, and I mean, they're just like, I can't imagine them doing anything in the Halo universe other than just like standing around and just getting massacred. But they are so damn funny. They're cute and adorable.
They have a special highlight in this game because they're the ones giving off the little radio transmissions off the radio towers.
Oh, really?
And like, if you just stand, like you're.
Oh, and you can listen to like the radio.
You can listen to them. Yeah. So like, the whole thing is you're supposed to go to each radio tower and destroy it because of reasons. But if you just sit there and listen to it, they say the funniest shit.
That's cool. Yeah. They put some upgraded grunts in this game too, like the white grunts. They're a little difficult to take down.
Yeah.
But just the enemies in general, and just the chatter when you're battling, all the different types of enemies. It's all like dynamic dialogue. If you're in a warthog, a brute will yell at you and be like, "Get out of that! Come out and fight me! Get off your warthog!" Yeah. So like the dynamic audio stuff like that while you're in the middle of the firefights is fun.
Halo on heroic and above difficulty is really fun, and when you hear the dialogue, because you have to pay attention to the dialogue, because you're not running in guns blazing, you're actually taking your time. It's you get to experience those things more. You notice those conversations more, because when you're going in just throwing grenades and slaughtering everybody,
right? The grunt doesn't even have time to get out one voice line before he screams his death scream.
Well, those are pretty brutal.
Playing this game a little bit slower, put it a little bit harder so you can kind of enjoy some of those moments. I think grab a buddy or 2 or 3, whatever. I think it's 4-player co-op. I think like that's kind of what Halo can do, which is great. It's just the replayability is there. The multiplayer is really fun. The co-op, having the open world was a really good move for them. Like, I think it came a little later than it should. I think this game could have came out in 2016. I mean, they didn't really push the genre forward, but they did do a good job introducing the grappling hook and all that stuff. It's just crazy to see this game come out, and then little by little they add co-op, they add multiplayer, they add this, they add that. Like, what will the definitive version of Halo Infinite look like? Will there be more story? I think Atrax survives. Spoiler, but like he's still around and all that
It's
stuff.
an after credits scene.
Yeah,
He'll be around. He'll be
whatever.
back.
There's a bad alien to kill, whatever. What they should have had a human, honestly, that you have to kill. Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
A
Like
traitor
rogue Spartan
human
or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, like a new Spartan program. Maybe like Jedi's, they take the Force, but they become Sith and they start doing bad things with the Force. Like,
Isn't that what 5 was a bit?
Yeah, but they didn't fight each other. You just took turns doing each other's. And then when they met, they just like punched each other, and then they like, I can't kill you, and they're like, what are you doing here? Oh, I misunderstood and then they forgave each other, and they all.
Yeah, that's the thing about the story. Like, how many different alien races can you introduce? Before they all just blend together.
The idea of having some like, imagine if you are one of the militia like that were sent down like in Halo 1 or Halo something, and you somehow survive after all these years, like. In this alien, like, wouldn't you have some like hatefulness towards the UNSC? It's like, they left me here, they abandoned me, and it's like I kind of like that. They should explore more of like maybe like a PTSD side of things for like the regular guys.
With a better Spartan.
You ever see The Rock, the movie The Rock?
Yeah.
Do that. Take that story, but do Halo. Like there's a really strong, fortified base of really smart, like renegade Spartan kind of guys or whatever.
Oh yeah,
they're really high within tech, and then it's just like they've convinced some like rogue elites to get in there. So you can still fight the variety of them, and then you find out there's like a scientist, and he's got like a little crew of Flood. So like the Flood gets out a little bit, and you got to find. You could do that kind of stuff.
You could do that.
Of having like. So the brutes were like, we were used by the Covenant. Now we're gonna take over, and I'm evil. Like you, as a creature, like you look evil. It's stupid design, honestly. It's just like, how could you write art? How could you even have language? How could you even run? How are you building ships? You look like you eat your species. Like you look. How
they
could
do.
you
Warriors,
they do.
warrior race.
They do.
Yeah,
but I think that's why Halo 2 sticks out so much, is because you have that arbiter being kind of like shamed by his people, having to go out and prove himself, and then realize, once again, the thing that I'm fighting for isn't kind of the right thing, so I should be
right.
So because
he's got the best story for sure,
definitely. But because Halo has this lore, it has this lore that's like you can build anything off of it, and they just decided to be here when they could be all over here.
They're focusing on the grappling hook. Good job, team. Like, you spent a lot of time making this engine and doing all the stuff.
It's here to stay,
single
too.
player, multiplayer. But yeah, just like give us DLC pockets, just like a story, a chapter.
If you remember how many times and how long they delayed this game, I think it's pretty apparent in the campaign and the package that they ended up releasing and what they've had to update in post launch. So like. They definitely had some struggles with developing this game, and I think it shows for sure. Because they released an unfinished product, and it just
all games are unfinished these days.
Yeah, but this was like to an extreme level,
except for Elden Ring.
Some core components of the game were missing.
Yes, that is very
launch,
true.
So
DLC with new biomes, please. That'd be cool. That'd be
new
awesome.
biomes. Absolutely,
they could just add new maps.
Here's another thing. Like the old Halo always had really fun like names for the little segments in each chapter. Like they literally would have an episode or like a little area when you go into a level and it would say who's your daddy or something like that.
Yeah,
it would always like have
or
these fun titles. So you don't
buyer's remorse or something like that.
But that's what they could do with Halo. Like a ship shows up and it's just like give it like a nickname and just have fun with it and just let us fight that boss.
But you could, like I'm saying though, you could do anything in this world. You've built the Master Chief. Okay, we know everything about the Master Chief. We know about the Covenant. We know about the UNSC. We know all about these guys. But it's like, what if you just like, okay, this is kind of a crazy concept, but just all of a sudden, 5 or 6 characters that are exactly like the Guardians of the Galaxy just shipwreck on Halo. What happens now? Like, just play with a bunch of characters.
Yeah, at this point, there's already aliens, and the Covenant already is a collection of species already.
Why not?
So you could literally just spice it up instead of grunts.
So you're gonna let me play as a grunt? Fuck yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is like Halo, the old Halos would let you play as an elite.
Halo
they didn't
2
really run with that. Yeah, like why can't we be grunts? I mean, some of those grunts were like so hard to take out. It'd be kind of fun to be like one against like 4 Spartans or something in a multiplayer match.
It's like playing
or
as
let
odd
us be
job.
hunters. You know how cool it'd be to be other species.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
let us.
For sure.
They could do these things, but
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
just
they-
let
Dead
us.
Horse, I think
ju-
talking about their
yeah.
toolbox, but
They
Just
have the
let
engine.
us develop the game.
Yeah, right.
Make these
I
in
mean,
our
they've
forge
had,
maps.
they've had troubles. They've had a lot of troubles over at 343 lately. So
I think they're aware of this too. Do you know they fucking played Ragnarok and we're like, God damn it, why can't we have these moments? You know,
Because Master Chief has no personality. He's just a soldier following orders, and he's just, yep, nope, we're going down. Fuck him. What if Master Chief swore? That had some personality to him.
no,
What's the plan, Chief?
he's straight edge, fucking like.
I want these
he's like-
motherfucking elites off my motherfucking ship.
That would make it more interesting.
Oh,
He
that'd be
just
so
loses his
good.
shit.
It was a good game. I think it's a fun game. I don't know. All around.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun
On the
as
whole-
a complete package. Yeah, as a complete
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
It's
I put
great.
so many hours in multiplayer. I mean, I feel like an ass kind of dissing it because it's given me tons of entertainment time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
So it's
something
like everything
we
else.
fall
It's
back
got-
on too,
Yeah.
as like a multiplayer thing when we don't know what to play. Like, let's just pop in for a couple.
It's a
rounds of
great
Halo.
game to have on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
honestly. But who has an Xbox that doesn't have Game Pass? You know, so
It's insane if you don't. I don't know.
yeah.
yeah. I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that was a ton of fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
love
I'm
that.
a little
It's a good
late to
game.
that one,
Great
but
game.
it was fun.
Yeah, they came out on Game Pass not too long ago. That's the problem. Is like some of those big games drop. It's just like, oh my god, 70-hour campaign. How am I gonna play anything
Yep.
else?
Yep.
All right, well let's end this conversation on Halo. Take a quick little break, and then we'll do a round of movie 20 questions. All right, welcome back, Spartans. And yeah, we're going to close out this episode with the round of movie 20 questions. So we all know the rules, but just for anybody that's listening, these guys are going to ask questions, and all I can say is yes or no. It's called 20 questions because you only have up to 20 questions, so use those 19 questions really to figure out what movie this is, so that way when you make your guess, that is it. You can't like be 5 questions and ask like, oh, is it this movie? No, it's not. Then it's over. So other than that, let's begin. So hold on, Eric. Hold on. We have a guest. Alain, would you please ask a question to start us off?
Is the movie made after 1989?
No.
No.
It was not made after 1989. Well, that laugh makes me think it was made in 1989.
So you're rating me. I don't know how to behave right now.
Is this movie would this movie be considered a comedy?
I would say it's.
Can
comedy.
I rephrase my? You will say it's a comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Does this movie have aliens in it?
No.
Does this movie take place on Earth?
Yes.
Does this movie take place on a college campus?
No.
Oh, I like that.
That's a very specific question.
College campus is no. Earth was yes. Aliens was no. Okay.
Aliens was no. Does this? I guess. I mean, it takes place on Earth. Does this take place in, I guess, present day? Whenever the movie was made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this movie take place during a holiday?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Yeah,
I was thinking Christmas movie.
that's cool.
I had one movie that
I
came
have to
to
remember
mind.
that question. No.
Okay. All right, not a Christmas movie.
Is this movie part of a franchise?
Good. It is a good question. No.
No, it's ooh. All right.
I have an idea, but
Is this movie have or is a sequel?
well, that would make it a franchise.
I was gonna say it's not part of a franchise, so
Yeah, but
Is a
technically
franchise?
two movies aren't a
two movies?
franchise.
Yeah, I would say a franchise is like Friday the 13th.
I
Wars.
always take it as if there's more than one movie, then it's considered a
So-
franchise.
All right.
That's what I always say. but-
Then I won't count that against you. But we'll establish that a franchise is two or more. Once it's got something,
Okay.
so that's,
Is
that's
it-
fine.
I guess like is it based on a licensed property?
No, Dave, is that
No.
10 questions?
Oh, I'm blowing through these puppies. I feel like we don't know that much about this movie.
That was 9. We're on 10.
9. Okay.
All right, takes place. Let's see. What do we do? What do we know? It
We
takes place
still-
on Earth.
We don't know
in
the
present
time
day.
the time zone yet. Like we don't know the year. We just know it's not after 1989. So we don't know if it's 1989 or before.
Well, it's present day.
Present day for
Well,
the time.
for when it came out.
As of when it was filmed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's an '80s movie. I'm purely basing this on Brandon's reaction, but we could just say, was this movie made after 1980?
Is that your question?
I mean, if we want to narrow it down, like if we
Yeah,
want to be 100%
That's
sure,
fine. Sure.
I have
then
a
yes.
I have a better question, I think.
Okay, sure.
Is this movie black and white?
No.
Oh. Well, now we have a time. Now we have like a year zone.
It's a comedy, though. Comedies in the 80s.
Is it?
Like, I'm thinking like
are
Animal
the-
Houses and all those.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, are the main characters adults in this movie?
Well, that's a good question. No. How many?
No, they're not.
No. How many questions do we have?
It's Breakfast Club.
It could be the Goonies too.
I guess I don't know. When was?
That was 11, so we're on 12.
Do you know what year The Goonies was released?
19.
That's mid to late 80s.
Is Breakfast Club?
Hey,
late
get
80s?
off that
No
phone.
Googling, no
Don't go
Googling.
Googling over there.
on.
Oh, I'm not googling. I'm looking
I
at
was
my
checking
own.
the weather.
No, I'm looking at my own. I'm looking at my own podcast because we did the Goonies, and I put down the date for everything.
That's
like-
it's gotta be 84, 85, I think.
Is Breakfast Club late 80s?
Yes. Breakfast Club, Goonies, like
Yeah,
Honey,
because
I Shrunk
it's
the
one of
Kids.
those. It's one of those teen comedy, like 16 Candles. You know that era.
It
of
could
comedies.
also be Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller. I
Yeah.
just thought of that. Yep.
Yeah, we could ask if it's a John Hughes film.
That's
That
true.
would- yeah,
that would narrow things down.
That's it. It's either that or something. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, ask it. Ask away.
Yeah, so is it John Hughes film?
It is not a John Hughes film.
Okay, well, that eliminates
Quite a bit.
Breakfast Club. Yeah.
Bueller, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles.
I was sure it was Breakfast Club. Goonies is good.
Is a good one. I'm trying to think of
I
a
know.
way we can
I know Brandon's a Goonie. A Goonies
narrow
guy.
that down.
Brandon, you Goonies. We've all seen Goonies, right?
Goonies seem.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
No, I have
About
not seen
1,000
Goonies.
times.
No, I love your
No,
I love your 80s.
we've had
goals,
this-
man.
We've had this conversation before. Yeah, we've thought about doing it.
I have
in an episode.
I have a really cool episode on the Goonies where we get a current child actor, to talk about his experiences in Hollywood and how it compares with
Oh,
the maybe the way the 80s did it or didn't do it. I like that episode.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. Got a
All right.
question over there, guys?
Does this? Well, I was gonna say, does this movie have like an ensemble cast? But I feel like that's kind of a given if it's one of those like teen, whatever comedies. Because I mean, the Goonies, there's no like main character. It's all, they're all. I guess I haven't seen
Steve
the movie,
Goonie.
so I don't
Steve
know if that's
Goonie.
true.
He's the head.
Steve
Goonie.
Goonie, the head Goonie. I don't know. Do we just want to eliminate Goonies with a very specific question, or do
We
wanna
could
go broad?
I feel like we
could
could
go with
do-
an actor.
Yeah, we could go with an actor. I feel like that would be like
You
who
could do like Josh Brolin,
Josh
I don't
Brolin
know who else.
was.
or who's Mouth in that
Say,
movie?
I don't know.
He was in
any
a couple
actors
80s
in the
movies.
Goonies.
Corey Feldman.
Feldman,
Corey
Corey
Feldman.
Feldman.
Or you could go with Data, who was also in. Well, no, Raiders of the or Temple of Doom would be a franchise. Indiana
No.
Jones.
I feel like Goonies fits the bill. It's a one-off, not part of a franchise. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It was released in the 80s.
85.
Not characters are not adults.
Mhm.
What else do we know? It takes place on Earth and in present day at the time of release. I feel like that fits all the bills.
It's really good. We could ask like a very specific question that it would
We could just try to eliminate it.
Does this movie involve a pirate ship?
So, have you guys ever seen Cabbage Patch Kids?
No.
What is this?
Yes.
So, no, I'm just kidding. Yes, it has a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We nailed it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go Eric, go ahead.
Our guest should do the honors.
Oh. Wait, hold on.
Yes.
What?
Do we want to make
Unless it's like
double,
Hook or
triple sure?
something.
I mean, we still got questions.
I mean, how many
left. We still
questions?
got
How many questions
left.
do we have?
We got a couple.
I was gonna say, is the truffle shuffle in this movie?
There's 13, so we've got like
Yes,
6
the
questions
Truffle
left.
Shuffle does make an appearance in
Yeah.
this movie.
Was there supposed to be a scene with an octopus, but then it got cut out because
There was.
Ah!
Yes. Oh my
Oh.
goodness, you guys! I feel like you kind of know what it is, but you want to ask a couple more questions.
Is it 1985 The Goonies?
It is The Goonies. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well
Good
done.
job. We're all going to space camp.
Going to pirate camp.
Pirate camp, yeah.
Well, very, very nice. Honestly, I was thinking of doing Cabbage Patch Kids, but I was like, that's a little too obscure. They're not
I've
gonna
never.
get that.
I didn't even know they had a movie for the Cabbage
It's a
Patch
horrible
Kids.
movie.
So,
Is it animated?
That sounds terrible.
Interesting thing about the Cabbage Patch Kids: if you drive to Atlanta from Florida, you come across like a bunch of dead, like nothing happening, like just
A bunch of dead Cabbage Patch.
just a bunch of dead.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
No, actually, it's not too far from the truth. So if you go down a certain route, there's a huge mansion, a huge white mansion. It's like a plantation slash mansion on like 12 acres. It's crazy. The hedges are cut into Cabbage Patch Kids.
What?
Like it looks like something out of like a Tim Burton nightmare, honestly.
Huh.
Wow.
But it is
That's pretty creepy.
it is the main headquarters. It's the birthing place of the Cabbage Patch Kids, and it's you can go there and you can adopt your Cabbage Patch Kids. They have a birthing ritual. They have a bunch of like selections, and as a joke, because I used to live in Atlanta, I used to drive back and forth from Orlando to see my mom. My wife and I kept seeing it, and one time we're like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna go," and so we just go, and it's surreal. It feels like you literally dropped into like a nightmare. It's very weird.
So do they have them like buried out in a field where you can go and like pick them or something?
So they have like the nursery. And they have the nursery, and it's like a huge room full of them, and it looks like planters. Obviously no dirt, but it looks like planters, and they're all in there. And then they have a birthing room where it's like if you want to get like a custom one or a special one, they do this like thing, a fresh one. They do this thing where it's like, but the whole thing looks like a hospital. Like the whole
People are weird.
People are weird.
Exists?
Whoa.
This exists. So the whole thing makes it look like a hospital. So you go in, you check in with the nurse, you make your appointment, you go to the back, you like walk around the thing, you pick your Cabbage Patch Kid, and then you go out to the adoption center, and then you leave with your Cabbage Patch Kid.
Huh.
I think it's even creepier that it's just like out in the middle of nowhere.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's like a stark white building. It's huge, and the hedges are like cut to make it look like Cabbage Patch Kid. Yeah, it's weird.
Damn.
That is,
And
yeah,
all
that
their
is-
eyes follow you as you're moving
Right.
around inside.
I'd be scared to go in there.
Shit.
That's great. You have interesting trivia with you. That I like it. Do you mind actually just reminding us one more time about your show?
It's not about the Cabbage Patch Kids. But yeah,
Maybe
it's
have a dedicated one.
it's a podcast, it's a movie podcast called I Finally Watched, and you can find us on Twitter at Finally Watched or Instagram at I Finally Watched. And me and my co-host David, we review movies that we should have watched honestly a long time ago. So we have a lot of fun with that.
What are a couple movies that you would recommend, and then people could go listen to an episode? Do you have like 2 or 3 off the dome that you could recommend?
I think our Goodfellas episode is really good.
Ooh. Okay, great movie.
Yeah, it
We did Blade. Blade is one of our
Nice.
good
Okay,
episodes.
Oh wow,
I have a soft spot for Blade. The first one's great.
Blade's good. Yeah,
What's a kind of a Interstellar? We did Interstellar.
Oh my god, dude!
we did
I
Interstellar
love that
too.
movie.
Such
Oh, yeah?
a good
The
movie.
masterpiece.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. So I think anything after like October 2022 is when we got our theme song implemented into the show, so we kind of sound more professional and stuff. So
Okay.
Sweet.
Well, thanks so much for coming on and helping us talk through Halo. Glad to
Yeah,
know that there's
fun.
other Halo fans out there. You really knew your stuff, though. That was really cool. Didn't expect it, honestly, from somebody coming from a movie podcast. But you're like us, we
I was
like
gonna
movies.
say, I'm glad to have a Halo expert on here.
Oh,
for this episode.
I try not to be so one-dimensional, but yeah, thank you.
And also
You have
thank
to
you.
join the fire team sometime.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh
yeah.
yeah, hit me up. I'll I don't even know my username, but I'll hit you up with my username. You guys can find me definitely.
All right.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a 4-player
We
game.
always
That
need a
works out.
fourth.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need a fourth guy. Yep.
Well, no, thanks for having me. This was tons of fun, and it's actually really refreshing to talk about something else other than movies on a podcast for once. So.
Honestly, that's why we did what because we were passionate about games, but I'm like, it can't just be games, guy. And so like we do like to kind of go over the place, but sometimes people are a big fan of movies though, and they have a podcast that's dedicated to it. So that's actually really cool that you have people that you can just tell them what's going on with movies and stuff like that. But totally appreciate that you took the time to talk about a game with us. Dave, I also appreciate that you played Halo. You played the whole campaign with us.
That's
You're
good,
playing
yeah.
multiplayer still with us. Here we are finally talking. I've been wanting to talk about Halo for a while.
I'm glad
It's
we
not-
finally-
it's not bad. It's
yeah,
just
we
a different
finally pulled the
flavor.
trigger.
Yeah. And Eric, I want to say thank you for leading us out and doing our social handles.
Oh yeah, of course. Always. Every episode. You can, if you want to follow us on our journeys, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow us at the Nomads of Fantasy on TikTok. Brandon's been throwing some short little podcast clips up there with some videos, so those have been fun. On YouTube as well. YouTube introduced handles recently, so you can find us at youtube.com/@nomadsofantasy for all of our episodes, and there's other bonus content there as well. And you can join our Discord at the nomadsfantasy.com/discord if you want to chat with us. You can email us. We never get any emails, but I would love if somebody emailed with a question or suggestion or comment on how much you love the show. That is nomadsfantasy@gmail.com. I think that's about it.
Don't forget
and we
What
also-
Map.
I was gonna say we built a game, a web-based game. Go to whatmapgame.com if you like guessing video game maps. It's fun little game. But yeah, that's all I had. Safe travels, Spartans. I don't know. I was trying to come up with a clever intro, but it didn't work. As always, safe travels, Nomads. Goodbye.
Finish the fight.
Finish the fight.
Slayer.